Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great day and welcome to the Tundra Dude 34 YouTube channel. So if you caught my video yesterday, we were celebrating the 2023 Toyota Tundra sales. It was a great year for Tundra. It came in fourth all time in Toyota Tundra sales. 2023 will be remembered as the year back to the top, and our hopes for 2024, now that the lots are completely full and we're starting to see incentives come back, this will be the year that potentially could take over the #1 spot from 2007. Well, today I want to talk about a specific trim that I think Toyota really needs to direct some attention to. Now, as you know, if you are a Toyota Tundra enthusiast, the trims for Tundra is SR, SR5, Limited, 1794, Platinum, Capstone, and TRD Pro. You have a large list of trims there that as you go up the ranks, you get more luxury features, you get more options. But with the prices of today's Toyota Tundra, I feel like not enough attention is being put on the SR trim. That is the opening trim for the Toyota Tundra. A lot of people like to consider this the workhorse of the trim line for Toyota Tundra. It doesn't come with a lot of features. It's meant to do the job. Maybe if you're someone that's in landscaping, construction, you own a small business, and you want a Toyota Tundra that doesn't have any extras, no luxury features, it's there to do truck stuff. This is the trim that you're going to want to look at. The price is quite a bit lower than those other Tundras out there, and there are a lot of owners and potential owners out there that don't want stuff they're not going to use. But I feel like if we look at the SR, you will see some things that I think are missing and need to be added. But before we get to some of the things that should be added to the SR, let's talk about exactly what the SR is and what is available now. All right, so for 2024, the SR trim has a base MSRP of $39,965, okay? It comes in a variety of different options when it comes to cabs and beds. Double cab with 6.5-foot bed, double cab with 8.1-foot bed, and the Crew Max with the 5.5-foot bed. You can get a two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive iForce V6. Now, the one thing that has to be noted about the SR, it is a detuned iForce engine. On the regular iForce, you will get 389 horse and 479 pound-feet of torque. But on the SR, the detuned version, it's 348 and 405. For colors, you get an option of Ice Cap, Magnetic Gray Metallic, Celestial Silver, Midnight Black, and for $425 extra, Supersonic Red. All of the interior is black fabric. There are two packages listed when you go to the build and price tool. The first one, it's just SR grade package. I'm not even sure why it's on this list. It doesn't add anything. It just says includes all content included as standard equipment. And there's the SR tow package, and that includes a Class 4 towing hitch receiver and wiring harness with 7-pin connector. And that's all you could get. Just taking a quick look at the inside of the truck, you will see you get the small infotainment screen. You will not find any extras on this truck at all. You're going to see a lot of bare minimum stuff, but for a low-end truck and one of the beginning trims of Tundra, it doesn't have a bad looking interior. And seats have great bolstering. They're just the fabric material versus, say, a Softex or genuine leather. This shot is what the Crew Max is, and as you can see, 3 adults could fit back there very comfortably. So that's the truck there. And when I did a slight build on it, I did a 4x4 Crew Max with a 5.5-foot bed. I didn't add any accessories or anything like that, but I did put the tow package that was available on it. It came out to $46,865. This is the lowest price Tundra you can get, and people use this truck and buy this truck for work. Again, small business, landscaping, construction, anything you need, this is the truck that doesn't have any extras. And I like the idea that Toyota did that because I'm telling you, with some of the people I talk to out there, a lot of you guys comment and just say you don't want any of the luxury stuff. You just want the truck to do the things you need the truck to do, regardless of what that may be. Now, let's talk about some of the things that are missing on the SR that I feel Toyota should take a look at and add to it to really step the truck up to where it needs to be for that person that wants the truck for work purpose. Okay, the first thing we got to tackle here is the regular iForce engine, not a detuned version. Now, if you're going to buy this truck for work, you're probably going to tow with the truck as well. Now, the tow capacity for this truck is 8,300. In the SR5, if we went double cab four-wheel drive to double cab four-wheel drive, SR to SR5, the SR will tow 8,300 pounds, with the SR5 tow capacity being 11,200 pounds. So regular I-Force engine should be number one to put back on this truck to make it appealing. All right. Number two, for some reason, they don't offer the Crew Max with the 6.5-foot bed in SR. You have to go up to SR5 for that. As we looked at some of the options they have the double cab with the 8.1-foot bed, which I think is great. People need that bed for work. But if you have a crew, you're going to want that 6.5-foot bed option on Crew Max. I feel like that's an easy addition because it already exists out there. Fill the cabin with your crew, still have the 6.5-foot bed for all the gear, and put that regular I-Force engine back for the tow capacity for the trailer of all of the other stuff that needs to join you at your work site. Which brings me to my next option. It should have a 6-seater option on this truck. If you remember the SR of last generation, you could find that SR with a column shifter. It didn't have the floor-mounted center console. In the new generation Tundra, all Tundras come with the floor-mounted center console. I feel like this is a big miss because, as we just stated when we were talking about Crew Max with a 6.5-foot bed, you want all the possible capability that you can get, including the amount of people inside the truck to take to where you got to go. So somehow, some way, Toyota needs to come out with that SR, make the entire SR trim strictly 6-seater. I think that would be another big win for this trim. Now we get into some of the small things that I think should really be on this truck. Fog lights. The SR does not come with fog lights. That should definitely be added. All the other trims have the LED fog lights. Why not throw it down on the SR as well? And I know when you start adding these things, the price may creep up little by little, but this is the stuff people are going to want. Another thing, and I've said this when we walk the lots, I say this all the time, and we'll continue to say it until hopefully it comes true. You cannot get the LED bed lights with outlet in the SR. Now, I feel like that's something that should absolutely be down in the SR just because of what the truck is. A work fleet truck like that should have all of the bed options possible, which leads me to my next one. There is also no deck rail system available for this truck. Now, I'm sure you could go buy the deck rail system and install it yourself, but in going down the full model specs, that is not available on SR. Now, I'm going to want as many tie downs as I can for my bed, and with a work truck like that, deck rail system should be standard. There's also no 32-gallon tank available. That is not on the SR, and that should absolutely be there. I think a lot of you will agree with that one. Now, don't forget, the SR of last generation, I feel like was such a great truck for a lot of the things we're talking about because some of the stuff was available last generation. Let's not forget, at the end of 2019, the 4.6-liter V8 went away, and the only engine for Tundra was that 5.7 V8. So before 2020, the 4.6 V8 was the only engine you could get in that SR. But for 2020 and 2021, it was the 5.7 V8. So it was getting the premier engine. It had the 6-seater option. It had a Crew Max and a double cab, 6.5-foot bed and 8.1-foot bed. If you went Crew Max, it was just that 5.5-foot bed, but it did have the column shifter. It did have the 6-seater option, which I feel like is a big, big thing that should be in the SR. But the small things we talked about that should definitely be there, I think all of you will agree with this. And this could be somewhere that Toyota makes a lot of sales, makes a lot of money if they address a few of these things. I'm sure the people, when they're going out to buy a new truck and say they had one of the big three, and everyone knows about Toyota reliability, and they could get a deal on an SR, and they go and look at it with it missing a few of these things like the bed lights in the outlet for sure, maybe the tow capacity, the detuned I-Force engine, they might walk away and go somewhere else. Give the truck as much capability as you possibly can, at the same time, keeping the price as low as you can. There's also something that when I was doing the research for this video, I thought of. How do you guys feel about this? This is going to be pretty much the question of the video. At what they offer currently for the SR, do you feel like the SR should even be around anymore? Because when you go up into SR5, a lot of the stuff that I just talked about is available. Not standard on everything, but available. So at this point, should they just scrap the SR, and for anyone who wants a work truck would have to go up into the SR5? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Regular I-Force engine, 100%. Give me that 6-seater build that tow capacity up, and that's how you add that iForce engine, like the regular SR5 and the Limiteds and everything that has that iForce engine. Just put the regular one in there, and I think a lot of people will be happy. But the fog lights, the deck rail system, and the LED bed lights and the bed outlet are a must. And while you're at it, because you already have all the stuff you need to do it, SR should totally have that Crew Max with the 6.5-foot bed. All the other configurations are great, but bringing the Crew with all the bed space you can is a huge win. Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok at TundraDude34, TundraDude34 at gmail.com. Be safe, be well, and I'll talk to you soon.